Now, the Tshwane University of Technology recently hosted its national dialogue on the future of work. In fact, the event took place last week, aimed at addressing pressing challenges about the nature of employment in the 21st century. Well, I mean, the world of work has changed quite dramatically. Tseliso Mohlomi is the Senior Director at TUT's Institute for the Future of Work, joins us now to tell us how it all went. Tseliso, good afternoon. Welcome to today. The future of work is actually with us today. The pandemic has forced many of us to really take some important technological steps in terms of staying abreast. But broadly, how did your dialogue go last week?
Thank you, Ndate Moyane. The dialogue went very well. I was actually laughing to look at the transition from your previous speaker to what we are talking about. Tshwane University of Technology came up with the concept of the Institute for Future of Work in trying to address one of the key problems that we have in the country. That is the employment or the employability of our young people and of our graduates in particular. And so the dialogue that was hosted last week was our second initiative. We hosted the first one last year, and this year we hosted the second one. And under the same roof, we had brought the industry, the government, academia, civil society, and the international development agencies to grapple with the issue around the skills that are needed in the epoch of the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, you had the gentleman I just spoke to now, Carlo Bolzonello from Trellix SA, saying globally there's a big shortage of skills, and you in your own way as an academic institution trying to grapple with it. What were the main outcomes of your dialogue last week?
Central to our dialogue last week in Ndate Moyane was the whole concept of collaboration. It's very important because sometimes we tend to think that the government should be the only one that needs to intervene. The National Human Development Index says that we have about between 60 and 62% unemployment among young people. And so the gist of the dialogue last week was let's hold the hands together and let's try to resolve that problem. And so on the first day, we basically dealt with the issues around the skills. We dealt with the issues around the technology, and we also dealt about the different trends that we see globally. Then on the second day, we were focused, industry focused, to look at, for example, I mean, people tend to think when we speak about the future of work, it's something that happened post-COVID. And sometimes also people think that the future of work is limited to working from home. However, the whole concept and context of work have changed. For example, with those that come from the manufacturing sector, we are talking about the Internet of Things. We are talking about automation, which basically means that the factories can achieve optimum productivity with just a press of button. And so we were then saying, what are those trends?
Yes.
How can we make sure we work together with the government, work together with the industry to make sure that we avert job losses? And number two, to make sure that our graduates, when they finish the university, they're not going to become part of that of the statistics, but they will be able to have competitive edge in those markets. So those vacancies that we're talking about globally and in the country, we need to make sure that they are filled. And as a university and the industry and the government last week, we have agreed that we need to hold hands to make sure that it happens.
Yeah, just very briefly, I mean, the future of work is here with us, as I said when I started, and many young people have to think differently than when we were growing up. We were thinking of a 9-to-5 job. The world is no longer like a 9-to-5 job anymore.
Correct. Yes, TUT, one of the pillars that we have is what we call the future-ready graduate. We are thinking differently now. We are starting to think different about what kind of graduates do we need. And there are two characteristics that define our graduates. One, it has to be somebody who is equipped with the right skills, who when they go into the job market, they have a fighting chance, should they seek to be employed. The second aspect is we want to produce graduates that have the mentality of an entrepreneur. These are the students that, we want to produce the next Bill Gates from our dormitories. We want to produce the next Mark Zuckerberg from our dormitories. so that when they leave, they are able to start their own work. You are right, it's no longer about 9 to 5, but it's about the ability to leverage the technology and make value out of it.
Yeah, get jobs, or yourself in the process, invent new jobs as well. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, and all the best with the task of an academic institution that's grappling with the future of work. That's Tseliso Mohlomi from the Tshwane University of Technology.